Yo, it's Two Side Anime here. Being a long-term Star Wars fan, Star Wars fanatic, let's be for real, Attack on Titan fan, and now revisiting the Dune series, restoring my love that I once had for the books, which I read when I was younger. Rewatching Dune 2 for the third time opened my eyes to an old concept that was created by the writer of Dune, and it hit me like a bag of bricks when I realized the same concept is being played out in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, the time skip. Unfortunately, it's affecting our favorite MC, Boruto Uzumaki. And this concept has made Boruto the unintended evil of the series. No matter where Boruto goes, death and destruction follows everyone around him and his friends and family. The concept that I'm talking about is called the Dark Prophet or the Dark Messiah. Dark Prophet or Dark Messiah is just you taking the writing structure and the character arc of a tragic hero and giving them the ability to see into the future. This future sight will eventually entrap the character, corrupting the purity and the humanity of this character and eventually causing the character to take an immoral route to achieve their goals. Frank Herbert created this concept. Frank Herbert created Paul Atreides, the perfect example of a dark prophet / dark messiah. Dune took his place as the grandfather of this concept and inspired many different authors and writers to create their own version of the dark messiah. Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars, created by George Lucas, Attack on Titans, Eren Yeager, and now Boruto Uzumaki. I know a lot of y'all are scratching your heads and saying, how's Boruto a dark messiah or a dark prophet? Just hold on, let me talk my nonsense. I'm about to cook and explain this to you guys. But before we can move forward in this video, we need to have a solid understanding to what makes a character a dark messiah / dark prophet. What are the prerequisites? What are the concepts that are at play that places this character within this role? Before I start, I just want to say, Boruto being the dark prophet of the Naruto franchise just fits well because Naruto was originally the child of hope, the prophecy given by the Great Toad that was bestowed upon Jiraiya to find this boy that would bring peace to the shinobi world. So it's only fitting that Boruto is going to be the character that brings unrest to the shinobi world while striving to achieve peace just like his father. Kadachi and Ikimoto both said that this series was going to start off fun, joyful, and a good time and eventually take a turn to the dark side, a more tragic feeling. Definitely see the tone switch since Ida used omnipotence to reverse the roles of Boruto and Kawaki. Start by breaking down the concept of the Dark Messiah and Dark Prophet. The first two prerequisites of being a Dark Messiah is very easy to guess. You know what else is easy? You hitting that like button and subscribing to this channel. Help a small creator grow. Anyways, the two prerequisites is being able to see into the future. The second is being able to fulfill a prophecy, being a savior / hero. Third prerequisite is being corrupted or plagued by the visions of the future, which eventually destroy the mental health of the character. Four is being born in a time of unrest, and this one is crucial. You'll see when I pull it all together. Number 5, their legacy is filled with death and destruction. Number 6 is a character's obsession with the future and their inability to change or stop it causes the character to take an immoral route to achieve their goals. With the prerequisites laid out, we can now go over the characters of Paul Atreides, Eren Yeager, and Anakin Skywalker so you guys can get a solid understanding of what a Dark Messiah / Dark Prophet really is. From there, we're going to move on and take a look at Boruto Uzumaki. Between the characters of Paul, Anakin, and also Eren Yeager, they all had the ability to see the future. Argue that Paul Atreides and Eren Yeager were both able to see the future in the same type of way. And I know there's a lot of controversy when it comes to Eren's ability to see the future, but I still stand by my belief that there was only one future, and that's because the future that Eren saw with the power to attack Titan was a mirror reflection of Eren's urge to be free. And I know somebody's going to bring up that vision that Mikasa saw before beheading Eren of both of them running away with each other, and her telling Eren how she really feels from chapter 123 when Eren asked her that question. But I do feel like it's similar to what Eren did to Armin in the past when he showed him the different places. He showed Mikasa the future that she wanted to see, the reality that she wanted, using the powers of the founding Titan. Still, maybe if Mikasa was honest about her feelings to Eren probably would have saw a different future where he would run away with Mikasa. Chapter 139 of Attack on Titans, Eren said that he wasn't sure how the rumbling was going to end or how he was going to be stopped. He just knew that the rumbling would happen no matter what. I just think experiencing the past, present, and future just mentally destroyed Eren Yeager. Same can be said about Anakin Skywalker. He saw the death of his beloved wife and his mother, and there was nothing he could have done to stop because he was indirectly the cause of everything. Paul Atreides saw multiple possibilities, but he felt the collective's urge and need for renewal of the empire of the galaxy, and he also had a thirst for revenge to avenge his father's death, so he chose the path of becoming a messiah, causing a vicious holy war. Let's move on to prophecy. Paul Atreides fulfilled the prophecy of the Fremen people to use them and their army, take his revenge against the Emperor. Paul also felt the collective crying out for the need of a renewal of the galaxy because of the crumbling empire. Anakin Skywalker fulfilled an ancient prophecy that came from the Old Republic era, stating that the Chosen One will destroy the Sith and bring balance back to the Force. This prophecy was forced on Anakin Skywalker. All know Anakin just wanted to be a retired veteran and a loving husband, but due to the pressure of being the Chosen One, it caused Anakin to run away from this role, making him susceptible to Palpatine's manipulation. Eren Yeager didn't have a prophecy, but he fulfilled the savior role for the Eldians stuck on the island. See, a lot of people forgot about all the events that took place in Attack on Titans before Eren turned into the antagonist of the series. At the beginning of the series, Eren brought hope, new hope, to everybody who was stuck on the island. He was a human that can turn into a Titan, and he was using his powers to destroy other Titans. He also used his powers to seal the walls, stabilizing the economy on the island. He also gave the people hope that they will finally figure out the mystery of the Titans. You have to remember, at the beginning of the series, before all the plot twists, we all believed that they were the only humans on Earth stuck on a planet filled with Titans. Then we find out the truth, all because of Eren Yeager. He was the savior of the island, and on top of that, even though he chose to go through with the rumbling, destroying 80% of the world's population, that gave the island time to survive and thrive, and gave his friends the opportunities to live fulfilling lives. Future sight combined with prophecies, this usually leads to the corruption of the mind of the character, destroying the character's mental health and forcing the character to constantly question themselves and their role in the world. This type of burden is a burden that only a god can be able to withstand. But unfortunately, when it comes to these type of stories and dark messiahs and dark prophets, the ability to see the future and the pressure of fulfilling the prophecy is always placed upon teenagers, which is just so funny when you think about it. Paul Atreides, Anakin Skywalker, and also Eren Yeager, they were all young, but more importantly, they were all kind and pure-hearted children. They were all filled with joy, but were forced to grow up really fast, changing the characters that we once enjoyed at the beginning of the series to more of the edgelord type character. And I definitely don't believe in the concept of edgelords. Most of the time, characters that get called edgelords are just deeply traumatized. Paul Atreides lost his family. Everything that he lived for, everything that he thought was right, everything he was striving to be got destroyed. Anakin Skywalker, the fall of the Jedi, losing trust and faith into the organization, all while being stuck in the all-out war against the Separatists, the Clone War. Watching his friends and loved ones constantly die, he became fearful of the concept of death. Anakin was told that he was the Chosen One. He also had the highest midichlorian count that the Jedi Council has ever seen. This, to Anakin, he should have the power to conquer life and death. This is where the manipulation of Palpatine comes in play. If you remember Revenge of the Sith, we see Palpatine telling Anakin the story of his former master, Darth Plagueis, the master he killed in his sleep. Darth Plagueis was experimenting with Sith alchemy. He was attempting to conquer the concept of life and death and creating life by bending and forcing the midichlorian. Eren Yeager, you really don't have to go that deep into his character. He's a tragic character in every sense of the word or the meaning or the concept, because he started off as this happy-go-lucky kid that just wanted to destroy the Titans and save his people, and then ultimately being forced to see the past, present, and future, which caused his mind to corrupt, leading him down the only path that he sought suitable to his mindset and his philosophy, the rumbling. Destruction of Eren Yeager's mental health was so drastic, you literally just see him. Compare Eren from the first time you saw his character character to the last time we saw his character, we can tell this man was not up there. Number 4 is that they were all born during a time of unrest. This can apply to the economy being unstable, groups at the brink of war, or the incoming destruction of the world. Yeager was born in a world that they were the last humans on the planet, and they were surrounded by a threat called the Titans. The inhabitants of the island couldn't live life. They were shackled to the walls. And this created the mindset of Eren Yeager wanting to be free. His whole life since he was born, he was stuck in chains. He was stuck behind the walls just to find out everything was a lie. Anakin Skywalker's whole existence was born out of conflict. You guys don't know, Anakin's birth was a response to Darth Plagueis attempting to bend the Force to his will and create the ultimate dark being. The Force responded back by creating the ultimate light being. On top of that, there was a lot of political issues that was destabilizing the Republic. The Senate couldn't come to agreement on anything. And we know politics was becoming a major issue in the universe of Star Wars. 1, because Palpatine wanted to become the dictator and control everything. And 2, Qui-Gon and Count Dooku both said the Jedi were getting too involved into politics, blinding them and taking them away from their true job to keep peace and order to the galaxy. Atreides' issues was the whole collective of the galaxy needed change. They wanted change, and they were crying out to somebody to bring that change. But there was so much manipulation going behind the scenes, controlling the politics of what's going on, and everybody being tensed up ultimately led to his father being assassinated, just leaving the legacy filled with death and destruction. We know Eren Yeager committed to the Rumbling, which ended up destroying 80% of the human population. Anakin Skywalker committed to Order 66, wiping out the Jedi. And Darth Vader, the main enforcer and the powerhouse of the dictatorship created by Palpatine, Darth Sidious. Atreides used the Messiah prophecy to his advantage and started a holy war that resulted into billions of deaths. Before we get to the legacy of death and destruction, the final concept of the Dark Messiah and Dark Prophet usually comes in play, and this is where the character takes a moral route to achieve their goals. Eren Yeager, it was going through with the Rumbling plan. For Anakin, it was committing to Order 66. And for Paul Atreides, was using the mantle of being a Messiah to gain his own army committed just to him, and started a great holy war. Characters became the unintended evil of their series. There's an old saying that states evil becomes most apparent when bad things happen to good people. Dark Messiahs and Dark Prophet characters usually become the evil that they intended to destroy in the series. We have a solid understanding of what a Dark Prophet, Dark Messiah truly is. We can now start to look and dive into the character of Boruto Uzumaki, tragic hero who started off with having it all and losing everything in the end. Technically, Boruto lost everything while trying to give everything to somebody that he trusted, his own brother. For this Boruto section, we're going to go out of order, prerequisites of a Dark Messiah. I want to start with being born at a time of unrest, because essentially Boruto was born in a time of peace, but we all know peace is an illusion, especially in the shinobi world. Stated by Toneri, the fate of the world was for it to be destroyed. This fate was delayed by Kaguya, and a cursed world was created through her love for her children. Boruto was actually born into a cursed world. Let me explain. Everything that we have experienced and seen in the Naruto franchise was really not supposed to exist. Chakra wasn't supposed to be shared throughout the world. Hagoromo's creed was never supposed to be born. Kaguya wasn't supposed to have children. She wasn't even allowed to eat the fruit, now that we know she was the underling for Ishiki. Hell beasts weren't supposed to exist. Everything in the shinobi world came into existence because of Kaguya, representing the major theme of the Naruto franchise, destiny versus fate. She went against her predetermined fate. Her fate was to be used as a vessel to create divine trees and destroy planets. But she said no, she wanted to find love, she wanted to find something new, and indirectly created the shinobi world after she was sealed by her children. But this doesn't change the fact that Earth was supposed to have been destroyed a long time ago. And that's why Kaguya was preparing for Momoshiki and Kenshiki and whoever else of her clan would eventually show up to Earth and try to destroy everything she created. The main point is, Earth was never supposed to exist. The shinobi weren't supposed to exist. And this is why no matter how Hagoromo tried to bring his peace using his creed into the world, there was always something that changed the fate of the world. Like Black Zetsu rewriting his creed and manipulating his son to go against Ashua, causing the never-ending conflict between the Senju and the Uchiha clan. You remember Hagoromo said true power comes from bonds and cooperations. But whenever these bonds are established within the shinobi world, something always happens that destroys them, causing chaos in the world. Naruto had the longest lasting peace because he was the strongest character of the verse. No matter what our heroes do, the fate of Earth was for it to become a chakra fruit and be destroyed. When Boruto was born, Toneri forced Boruto to step into the role of the hero that will save the world from the fate of destruction. Toneri awakening the Jogan in the young Boruto forced Boruto to become the messiah/savior of the world. That was prophecy number 1, but Boruto also received a second prophecy after defeating Momoshiki with the help of Sasuke and Naruto. Momoshiki realized Boruto inherited the genes of the Otsutsuki clan and told him that those blue eyes will eventually take everything from him. Boruto is battling two prophecies, the prophecy of being the one to save the world and also the prophecy to be the person that destroys the world. Usai, what do you mean Boruto would destroy the world? And that doesn't make sense. It actually does, because Momoshiki foresaw the events that took place in the last couple of chapters of Boruto, and he was banking on Boruto losing the will to live, which he stated in chapter 72. He said, "You shall despair, lose your will to live, enough to want to escape this world. Don't worry, all you need to do is just come quietly in the corner of your psyche for eternity. I do not care about resurrecting anymore, since possessing your body shall yield the same result." As long as Momoshiki exists within the body of Boruto Uzumaki, the destruction of Earth is still a possibility. The reality of the prophecies that Boruto now has, being the savior of Earth or being the mere destruction of the planet, lead to anything less than a tragedy. Boruto and Momoshiki's minds are now in sync, giving Boruto the ability to peer into the future. We first saw Boruto tap into this ability in chapter, saw the events of Kawaki attacking Boruto without the intervention of Ida and Omnipotent. And it's so obvious in the current events of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex that Boruto saw another vision of the future that scared him. This is why he was attempting to stop Code, reason with Code to find the location of the Ten Tails and destroy the Ten Tails before the God Tree clones were created. And I'm going to make another video about the vision that Boruto saw, and it does deal with Momoshiki taking over. Boruto's visions of the future leads us into prerequisite. The visions of the future starts to destroy the mental health of the character. We can guess that Boruto didn't see this new vision of the future until Sasuke became a tree. The reasons for that, Boruto was all smiles and sunshine. He's literally on the run with his idol, all because of his friend Sarada changing his fate. But all of that changed 2 years later. We now see the toll of being a fugitive, an outcast, isolated from all your friends, and shouldering the fate of the whole world and humanity on your shoulders. We'll see the drastic change in Boruto's personality, and right now we're only at the beginning stage of this transformation. We're going to get to the point when Boruto becomes mentally unstable, and I already know what it's going to take to destroy this man. There are two factors that's going to play a major role. The first one, outside of Boruto's parents, there are 3 people that mean the world to Boruto, and if anything happens to them, he will lose his mind. Hima, Sarada, and Sasuke. We already saw the drastic change in Boruto's personality once Sasuke became a tree, so just imagine if anything happens to Hima and Sarada. Boruto made a promise to Sasuke before he sacrificed himself that he will protect his daughter, so if anything happens to Sarada, the mental health of Boruto will finally snap. Anything happens to his little sister Hima, which we're now experiencing in the manga, Boruto will snap. The second factor is Boruto is somewhat fighting against a concept called fatalism. Anakin Skywalker also attempted to fight against fatalism. Fatalism is the belief all events are predetermined, therefore there's nothing you can do. This submissive outlook on fate can destroy the mind of a character. This is why Darth Vader submitted to Palpatine's wishes, because every attempt that Anakin made to stop the future from happening, he failed. Same thing is going to happen to Boruto. It's going to be his conflict. The whole purpose of the Naruto franchise is to display destiny versus fate, a major theme. But Boruto, attempting to write his own destiny and go against the fate of the destruction of the world, he keeps failing. Failed at keeping Momoshiki at bay with the pills. He also failed in having his brother spear through him to kill Momoshiki. Momoshiki found a way to come back to life by saving Boruto's life. Boruto failed in stopping the creation of the God Tree clones. He got there a little too late. Now, if you keep adding up all these failures and the loss of any of the 3 people I named earlier in the video, Hema, Sarada, and Sasuke, this is going to open the route to the next prerequisite, where the Dark Savior, the Dark Prophet, takes the immoral route to achieve their goal. More than likely, Boruto is going to allow Momoshiki to take over, which was foreshadowed since the beginning of Boruto. In desperation, Boruto is going to turn to Momoshiki for help. Momoshiki is going to use this desperation to his advantage and betray and manipulate Boruto, pushing him to the back of his psyche. It's going to be up to Boruto, his soul of the shinobi, and him awakening the Jogan to come back and take control of his body and getting rid of Momoshiki, destroying his fate. But he's still going to fulfill the Dark Prophet role because Momoshiki is going to wreak havoc. At the end, Boruto will redeem himself, just like Anakin Skywalker, just like Paul when he went off to the desert and isolated himself and allowed his children to continue to rule. Boruto saying I'm still a shinobi in the final battle signifies that Boruto is going to lose his will to be a shinobi and continue to fight. But through awakening the Jogan, through remembering who he really is and who his master is, Boruto is going to awaken and redeem himself like all Dark Prophets, except for Eren Yeager. I really don't think, well, in a way he kind of did redeem himself because everything he did was for his friends, for them to survive. But every Dark Messiah or Dark Prophet finds a way to redeem themselves. Darth Vader saved his son Luke from the hands of Palpatine, finally killing the one Sith and restoring balance to the Force. Mikasa broke the curse of Ymir, and like I said, Paul isolated himself. If I remember correctly, Paul leaves the throne, returns to the desert, and returns as some type of priest. It's still very early in the series, but based off what we're seeing now, Boruto's gonna leave a legacy of death and destruction, trying to defy his fate and shape out his own destiny. We already seen the first casualty of war. Rest in peace, Inogen. I'ma be home later, Ino, don't worry. We will see if Boruto will continue the path of being the Dark Messiah, Dark Prophet of the Naruto franchise. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.